Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back and thank you all so much for being here. This morning we'll be taking a look at exciting stock market news, notable earnings reports, and we actually have a few this morning, and which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. Don't forget to head over to TipRanks TV to check out some of our great exclusive stock series, including Hakeem's latest Analyzing for Alpha video, where he looks at a perfect 10 stock with a healthy dividend. Now let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are currently in the green this morning. Right now, Dow futures are up 0.57%, S&P 500 futures up 0.81%, and NASDAQ futures up 1.05%. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has purchased another $500 million of Occidental Petroleum. This brings their stake in the company to over 16%. Berkshire Hathaway initially began purchasing Occidental Petroleum shares earlier this year. They've now brought their total shares owned to over 152 million after this 9.5 million shares purchased this past Friday and Wednesday. Their total stake is now worth over $8.5 billion. The recent purchase fuels speculation that they could further add to their stake and bring their total ownership over 20% or potentially bid for the entire company. The Occidental stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 32%. Shopify is partnering up with Twitter for an integration that will help sellers directly link the products they have for sale on their Twitter page. With Twitter shopping, sellers will be able to showcase their most impactful products directly on their profile in a Shop Spotlight or Twitter Shop. The Spot Spotlight is an always-on window shopping experience that can support up to 5 products, while a Twitter Shop is a fully immersive and customizable virtual storefront that supports up to 50 products. Shoppers in the US can then easily find your products and scroll through to browse. Analysts currently rate the Shopify stock a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 80%. And shares of Kohl's are falling after it was reported that the franchise group, the company interested in possibly purchasing Kohl's, may lower their bid by as much as $10 per share. Kohl's entered into exclusive talks with the franchise group earlier this month, and at the time a deal of about $9 billion was discussed, or $60 per share. Now sources close to the situation are saying that the franchise group is amending their offer to closer to $50 per share as they worry about the outlook of Kohl's in the U.S. economy. The Kohl's stock is currently rated a hold with an average upside of 28%. Now moving over to notable earnings reports. In the after hours today, we'll be hearing from some big names like FedEx, BlackBerry, and Smith & Wesson. So make sure you stop by Fabio's after hours market recap to hear the detail on those. Already in the pre-market this morning, we heard from RiteAid. Their revenue did fall year over year, but their results came in ahead of analyst expectations. RiteAid reported a quarterly loss of 60 cents per share, when the consensus estimate was a loss of 70 cents per share. This was on revenue of $6 billion, ahead of the estimates of $5.8 billion, but revenue did fall 2.4% year over year. The company also increased their expected loss for fiscal 2023. Analysts currently rate the stock a strong sell with an average downside of 20%. On a more positive note, we did hear from Darden Restaurants, the group behind popular restaurant chains like the Olive Garden and Red Lobster. They came in ahead of analyst expectations and saw same-store sales grow over 11%. They reported earnings per share of $2.24 versus the $2.21 expected, and revenue of $2.6 billion versus the $2.54 billion expected. In the face of higher costs and economic uncertainty, they did issue a mixed forecast for the fiscal year. Analysts rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 30%. And we also heard from Accenture. Their stock is down slightly after they posted mixed results and lower than expected revenue forecasts. The company reported third quarter earnings of $2.79 per share, slightly below the analyst estimates of $2.84. This was on revenue of $16.2 billion, which did outpace the expectations of $15 billion and grew nearly 22% year over year. They're now expecting fourth quarter revenue of $13.1 billion to $13.5 billion, whereas analysts were expecting revenue to reach $15.8 billion. They currently rate the stock a strong buy with an average upside of 32%. Now let's take a look at which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by Weber. They seem to be rising on the hopes of a short squeeze. Under the ticker WEBR, the stock is currently up over 17%. They're followed by Shift4 Payments under the ticker FOUR, up about 9%, and Li Auto under the ticker LI, up over 6%. Our biggest losers this morning are led by Zylab. They seem to be cooling off after big gains earlier this week. Under the ticker ZLAB, they're down about 8.4%. They're followed by the Deutsche Bank under the ticker DB, down 5.5%, and Mizuho Financial under MFG, down 4.85%. So that is going to be everything for Thursday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. Don't forget to check us out over on TikTok as well under the username TipRanks. I'd love to see you over there. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.